Hi, welcome to Breakthrough Church Daily Devotions. We are following the book of Exodus for our daily devotions. We are still in Exodus chapter 25, verses 10 to 22. The mercy seat is the cover of the Ark of the Covenant. It is made of pure gold, and on each side are two cherubim facing each other. God told Moses in Exodus 25, verse 22, "There, above the cover, between the two cherubim that are over the Ark of the Covenant law, I will meet with you and give you all my commands for the Israelites." Moses will no longer need to climb Mount Sinai to meet God. He can meet God inside the tabernacle, inside the Holy of Holies. On top of the Ark of the Covenant, God will show His glory and meet with Moses. Moses has unlimited access to the presence of God. Every time God summons him, he will come. And every time Moses wants to meet with God, he can come inside the Holy of Holies. Only him has this privilege. Besides him, only the high priest can come inside the Holy of Holies. But only once a year, at a celebration they call the Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. On that day, the high priest has to sacrifice a young bull and sprinkle its blood on the mercy seat to atone for his own sins. Then he will go back outside and take 2 goats with him. He will designate 1 goat to serve as the scapegoat. He will lay his hands on the head of this goat and pronounce all the sins of all the people. Then he will set this goat free into the wilderness, never to be seen or recovered again. It is a sign that the sins of the people will be remembered no more. Then he will take the other goat and make it an offering and sprinkle its blood on the mercy seat to atone for the sins of all the people. But Jesus Christ changed all of that. Through His sacrifice on the cross, He atoned for all the sins of all mankind, so that we can now enter into the presence of God by virtue of Christ's righteousness. He is the fulfillment of all atoning sacrifices. Now, it is a very terrible feeling not to be forgiven of our sins. King David, when he committed adultery and murder, wrote in a psalm about his experience of carrying the burden and the guilt of his sins in Psalm 32. He wrote, "Blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I keep silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy on me, my strength was sapped as in the heat of the summer." But thanks be to Jesus Christ's sacrifice on the cross, we can now come boldly to the presence of God without any fear of judgment or punishment. The writer of the book of Hebrews made this very clear. He wrote in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14 to 16, "Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has ascended into heaven, Jesus the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." Are you burdened by guilt and shame, and your conscience will never let you rest? Jesus promised in 1 John 1:9 that if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive all of our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. Come to Jesus, and He will give you the kind of life that you have been longing for.